In listening with rapt attention to the creator consciousness channelings of the Z's by Lee Harris and The Council by Sarah Landon, they both mentioned how very much those of us on the awakening path have transformed in the last 10 years. They stress that it's not merely change or progress, but transformation. As time accelerates, and if you take a close look, we really are something quite different now than we were then. Being 65 now, that means I was 55 years old in 2013. Here's a list of the significant events that occurred for me during the past 10 years. Each event, of course, carries with it the associated mind and heart expansions, realizations, relationship changes, and shifts in perception and new skills. In 2013, I traveled to Brazil to see John of God and was gifted with multiple miracles. Sister Ginny retired from her job in Alaska to join us in Colorado by moving in with and caring for our dad full-time. I was then relieved of much of my part-time caretaker role with Dad and gained a soul sister. She and I studied dream work, astrology, numerology, A Course of Love, and Tai Chi together, hanging out regularly at Caritas, our Boulder home away from home. In 2014, our foster kids came back into our care in June for varying lengths of time, and the youngest stayed with us the longest until December when he went home. Though Dad had been in hospice for a year and a half, my siblings agreed that I should go ahead and walk my planned 560-mile pilgrimage across Spain along the Camino de Santiago. Dad did pass away the day I arrived in a town so much like his native Marin County in California. After I returned home, we had Dad's celebration of life, held an estate sale, sold his house, and I reveled in the increased closeness of my whole precious family. Ginny returned to Alaska, and Kevin and I held a gigantic garage sale of our own, clearing out stuff after gathering it for nearly 30 years in our dream house in the mountains. In 2016, we moved to Iowa to help Kevin's dad, Don, care for Kevin's mom, Marie, who had worsening Alzheimer's. Fortunately, after 6 months, when we were just weeks away from moving Mom into a memory care unit, which she would have hated, Marie had a massive stroke and died after 11 days in a coma in hospice. Taking the part-time office manager position at Mom and Dad's church in the small nearby farming town where Marie grew up, Kevin and I joined the choir. I'd always wanted to sing, though Kevin was the one with the wonderful and valuable male voice. I took up piano lessons again after decades, learned about portrait photography, and took on the church photo directory project, worked with the Historical Society to edit and publish a history book of the fascinating little town, continued taking Tai Chi in towns 90 minutes away, and eventually just led a small group locally. Spiritual retreats with Gail and the cousins at Lake Tahoe and the foothills of California, as well as in Texas and at the International Tai Chi Center outside of Toronto with Ginny, along with pleasure trips to Cancun, the Pacific Northwest, Virginia, and Breckenridge, as well as visiting family and friends regularly in Colorado and once to Alaska. It satisfied the travel bug. I gave several talks to groups on spiritual topics, learned about video and editing, and launched Shine That Divine. We said farewell just a year apart to Kelly and Molly, the two precious golden retrievers we brought with us from Colorado, and then we adopted our first shelter dog, Kylie. After 5 years in Iowa, we moved to a new home on a few private park-like acres, complete with a stream running through it, to a house with plenty of windows and light and space for Dawn to move in with us. I have since let go of choir, attending church, the bookkeeping part of my job, yay, the Historical Society, voice lessons, and special projects. I spend my time organizing and decorating exciting home improvement projects and attending Zoom meetings for a spiritual study group with Ginny and Shirley, weekly distance energy healings, regular meetings with spiritual sister Linda, and interesting classes that come along. Scads of spiritual YouTube videos and listening to Audible books in the car and during dog walks keep me glowing and growing. As of last week, the first draft of my spiritual memoir is complete. It's said that people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5. Just see how much we experience in 10. With consciousness rising and manifestation materializing at this quickening pace, it's truly exciting to see what the next 10 years will bring. There will be more and more opportunity to shine that divine.